Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Tushar Patil, medical oncologist attached to Sahyadri Hospitals, Pune. I am working here since 2010. This video is to bring about awareness about increasing incidences of prostate cancer and the associated morbidity and mortality, that is suffering and the death related to prostate cancer. We all know that males have a specialized gland, prostate, which increases in size as the age advances. There are two types of growths that take place in prostate gland. One is called as benign prostate hyperplasia, that is, the tumor cells grow but they do not spread like cancer. So this is called benign growth. The symptoms of this growth also can be in the same format, that is, increased frequency of urination, sometimes blockage of urine, and if we do ultrasound or sonography of the abdomen, it shows us that the prostate has enlarged in size. As opposed to that, the prostate cancer is the one which increases in size locally and also has a potential to spread to other organs like lymph nodes, bones, lungs, liver, etc. And hence it causes damage to the places where it goes and metastasizes. World over, prostate cancer in males is a leading cause of suffering and mortality, that is death. In India also, we are estimating that the number of prostate cancer cases will go up tremendously by the middle of this century. Unfortunately, in India, what we are seeing is that more and more younger population is seen suffering from the prostate cancer. In Western world, the average age of diagnosis of prostate cancer is 65 and above. In India, we are seeing at least half of these patients being 50 or less, and many of them being 50 and 55 age group also. Also, the disease biology is quite aggressive, and hence, compared to the stage in Western world, the same stage here carries a poor prognosis. Hence, the importance to detect it early, treat it early, get rid of it early. Prostate cancer likely spreads to lymph nodes, bones, and lungs. Bones is the most favored site of spread. In fact, in half of the cases that become metastatic, the presentation is bone pains, and subsequently, when we start evaluating for these bone pains, we find that the prostate is the cancer which has grown and has spread to the bones. By that time, the quality of life of the patient is hampered. Many of these become very weak. Sometimes, if the bone marrow is involved, the hemoglobin drops down, the WBC drops down, platelets come down, and few of them also suffer from pathological fracture of various bones, including femur, so that they become unable to stand or walk. Friends, treatment is available for every cancer if we can detect it early. Similarly, prostate cancer has various modalities of treatment. So once we diagnose this prostate cancer by doing a biopsy, we have multiple treatments available. Surgery is preferred for prostate cancer which is early in stage and localized. The second best option for a loco-regional disease, that is the disease which is spread to the lymph nodes, is radiation. So we give a dose of something called as androgen deprivation therapy, that is, deprive the body and the prostate of testosterone hormone on which the prostate cancer depends. This will bring about the shrinkage of prostate gland and the metastasis to the lymph nodes and other organs also, and then later beyond radiation to have an additional effect. But as I discussed, that many of these patients come to us in a metastatic state, that is the stage where it is already spread to other organs and where we are left with only palliative care options, that is, no option is curative. But prostate cancer is not very fast growing, hence even when the prostate cancer grows to bones or spreads to bones, there are treatment options where we can improve the survival and also better the quality of life. Friend, the most important treatment part of controlling prostate cancer is control of the testosterone. So the prostate cancer depends on this hormone very much, and if we can block this hormone or cut off this hormone in the body, they definitely will stop growing for some time at least. And that is the treatment modality called as androgen deprivation therapy. This therapy can be administered or given in two formats. One is a surgical option where testes are removed, that is orchidectomy is done, which is a permanent solution and which is one-time treatment Many times because of financial reasons, patients go for this, and it's one of the favored options for patients also. The second, who do not want any surgery, is a medical orchidectomy. That is, medically we are trying to cut off this hormone from the body, and also this hormone cannot act on the prostate cancer cells. It's called medical androgen deprivation therapy. Remember, both these treatment modalities are equally effective, and many times it's a patient's personal choice as to which treatment to be taken from his side. And once this treatment is offered to these patients, usually the PSA starts dropping in 1 or 2 months' time. The patients become little better, they become more mobile, and definitely the disease comes under control in 3 to 6 months' time. Remember, for those patients who have got bone disease or spread to the bones, we also administer some drugs called as bone strengthening agents. Simple drugs are available which can be given 1 monthly or 3 monthly to these patients for the control of bone pains and also betterment of the bone health. In 2019 today, if the patient is diagnosed with a prostate cancer and having metastasis that is spread to the bones and other organs, then we also recommend the patient to take upfront chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is nothing but a chemical which is introduced into the body so that it can kill these cells, and one of the most important part of killing cancer cells in prostate cancer where they have spread to other organs is chemotherapy. Chemotherapy, in addition to this androgen deprivation therapy, definitely brings about a very good improvement in the survival of these patients. It has been seen that the survival is now improved by more than 3 to 4 years if we add chemotherapy upfront, just because in the first instance when chemotherapy is added, the patient's general condition is really very good. Patient is able to tolerate these combined modalities, and the results also will be very good to see and very good to achieve. This is about the metastatic breast cancer and other modalities of prostate cancer. I would emphasize on prevention of prostate cancer. Very important here is prevention of prostate cancer. How can we detect prostate cancer early? How can we prevent it? Smoking is one of the risk factors associated with prostate cancer, and hence probably stopping this addiction will lead to some decrement in the prostate cancer morbidity, in the prostate cancer number of cases. Some of the lifestyle changes, maybe good healthy habits to be taken, regular exercise will definitely impact the good health, immunity, and indirectly may have an effect on the rising incidences of the prostate cancer. The third most important part is screening. So it is recommended, friends, that all people who are 45 years and above should get screened by a neurologist by doing a digital rectal examination once in a year, and also a simple test called as serum prostate specific antigen, serum PSA. That test is readily available in many of the hospitals and clinics. It can be done, the results are there in the next day, and we can have a nomogram based on the PSA values which can be monitored yearly as to whether this patient is likely to have a prostate cancer or not, and this can be easily monitored. So for screening, I would recommend 2 tests. One is serum PSA, prostate specific antigen, and the second test is digital rectal examination done by a urologist. Both these tests to be done at a yearly interval. Friends, prostate cancer is becoming more and more commoner than we thought. It is becoming more and more widespread. Early age is now coming into picture. People are not people living with prostate cancer are no longer very old. They are 50, 55 and 60, relatively young people, and very aggressive disease is coming into picture nowadays. We need to curb this, we need to treat it, we need to diagnose it, we need to detect it early so that we have the best chance of survival.